Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. 23-year-old Arsenal player now very close to exit. Talks are advancing. Arsenal's Albert Sambi Lokonga is in the advanced stage of negotiating a loan move to fellow Premier League side Burnley. That's according to journalist Sacha Tavolieri, who said the deal could include a clause to make the move permanent. Sharing his update on Twitter, Tavolieri said there could be a mandatory purchase agreement after a certain amount of games played. Tavolieri said talks advanced on their way between Arsenal and Burnley to find an agreement with a loan, including an option to buy that could be mandatory in case the Belgian midfielder plays a certain number of matches. First idea of the Belgian Red Devils was to try a journey in Spain, but company's team was the most concrete solution at the moment, and that would allow him to show and prove he is ready for the Premier League. This news comes days after it was revealed that Lokonga was one of those on an 8-man list for Arsenal's summer clear-out. The surprise with the latest update will be that Lokonga's proposed Burnley loan deal involves an option for a permanent departure from Arsenal. Whilst Lokonga has had a tough time at the Emirates and hasn't made too much progress, his permanent departure wasn't set in stone. The 23-year-old clearly still has a lot of potential as he arrived in England with, but has yet to realize it. The other names who could leave include Nicolas Pepe, Folarin Balogun, Auston Trusty, Cedric Soares, Rob Holding, Nuno Tavares, Alex Runarsson, and Matt Turner. Arsenal a player in talks over loan to buy transfer to fellow Premier League club. Arsenal could be set to let goalkeeper Matt Turner join Nottingham Forest, with talks apparently continuing over a loan to buy deal. Turner has emerged as a contender for Forest to sign, as they are becoming increasingly frustrated in their attempt to sign Dean Henderson from Manchester United. Henderson is wanting the move, but United are holding firm over a fee and loan conditions, with Forest not wanting to take too much of a risk due to his injury issues. And according to Sky Sports, Forest are now exploring the possibility of signing Turner from Arsenal instead. Lauded for being an incredibly talented goalkeeper by Shaka Hislop, Turner has not really had much of a sniff with Arsenal thanks to the form of Aaron Ramsdale. However, he remains a key player for the USA and will be mindful of playing regular football in order to keep his place in the national team. Turner would no doubt be the number one at Forest, especially if they opt against signing Henderson altogether. If Henderson is being signed as well, then Turner might be best to ignore this move, as he'd be in the same situation at the City ground as he is now. For Forest, it's a case of them getting a proper number one in the building. Turner is a solid option and might even be a lot cheaper than Henderson. Incredible Arsenal player in talks to leave could go on season-long loan. Arsenal are in talks with Sheffield United over a loan move for USA centre-back Auston Trusty. That's according to journalist Mike McGrath, who suggested that a season-long loan will be sought by the fellow Premier League club. McGrath said, Arsenal are in talks over a deal for USA centre-back Auston Trusty to head to Sheffield United. Season-long deal possible if discussions progress with the club who had success with short-term deals last campaign. Trusty, of course, spent last season on loan at Championship side Birmingham City. The 24-year-old had a brilliant spell with the club and ended up being named their player of the season. Trusty signed for Arsenal back in 2022 from Colorado Rapids and looks a shrewd piece of business given his progress. Some fans had wondered if the defender may be set to stay at the Emirates this year, given his impressing on a preseason tour. However, with competition for places incredibly strong at Arsenal this season, especially since Jurriën Timber arrived, it does seem best he seeks another loan. Incredible Trusty will be keen to continue his development and enhance his reputation at Premier League level. Arsenal, no doubt, will be buoyed by Premier League interest, which would surely be preferred over another championship move. As Mikel Arteta referenced after their friendly win against Barcelona, Arsenal still have a lot to do in terms of outgoings. Auston Trusty was mentioned on the list, and fans may be relieved to see that could be a loan move and not permanent. Trusty clearly caught the eye of Arsenal's scouts and has only impressed since, so it would be a surprise to see them cut ties. A loan move to Sheffield United looks perfect for Trusty and Arsenal, who will likely assess the situation again in January. Inter Milan could sell £25 million forward to fund move for Arsenal player. The future of Arsenal forward Folarin Balogun remains up in the air, and Inter Milan continue to be mentioned in the conversation. The Italian side are thought to be keen on signing Balogun as they look for a marquee signing in attack this summer. So far, Arsenal are sticking to their guns and demanding more than £40 million for the young forward, and while Inter haven't met that price tag just yet, they could be about to make moves to do so. Gazzetta dello Sport has reported how Balogun is one of the final two options Inter are considering up front. Interestingly, Sky Sports have jumped on the story and added that the Milan club are looking to sell forward Joaquin Correa to fund the move. Inter paid £25 million for Correa just last year, but are open to selling him to raise funds to sign Balogun. Further, FC Inter News adds that the Italian club are hoping to benefit from the spending spree of Saudi Arabia, and they hope a bid comes in for Correa from the Middle East. Despite being tipped to become a player with frightening potential, there is no guarantee Balogun plays a role this season for the Gunners. If the Italian side are looking to sell a player they paid £25 million for just over a year ago, then that suggests they are more than ready to have a real go at getting Balogun. Arsenal know they will need to make a decision on the young forward soon. If he sits on the bench all season, then his value will suddenly dip, and the Gunners might be seeking a loan move again. If Inter can come up with the £40 million plus needed, then it's hard to see Arsenal turning the bid down. Chelsea now think they are about to beat Arsenal to signing a special Premier League star. Chelsea now believe that they are set to beat Arsenal to the signing of Michael Olise, with the Frenchman available for £35 million in the summer transfer window. That's according to a report from 90 Minutes, which suggests that the Blues think that they are about to win the race to sign the Crystal Palace star ahead of the new campaign. Michael Olise could prove to be a bargain signing at £35 million. The Frenchman actually contributed 11 assists in the Premier League last season as Palace ended the campaign in mid-table. A clause in his contract has opened the door for the division's heavyweights to take a look at a move, and 90 Minutes claims that Manchester City and Arsenal were both interested in Olise. However, it's Chelsea who appear to be on course to win the race. 90 Minutes report that Mauricio Pochettino's side are now optimistic of bringing Olise to Stamford Bridge. Interestingly, it's noted in the report that Olise's younger brother is already on the books at Chelsea, so that may have played a part in the former Reading Star's decision. It may seem like a real blow to plenty of Arsenal supporters. The Gunners have enjoyed a very impressive window so far. However, there are a couple of areas where Mikel Arteta's side surely need more depth, and out on the right is potentially one of those positions. Bukayo Saka started to look jaded towards the end of last season, and Arteta did not really have someone to come in and replace him. It could be a big year for Reece Nelson for that reason, but Olise would have been a brilliant addition. He is a special talent with an incredibly high ceiling, and he would have not cost the earth. But unfortunately for Arsenal, he now appears to be heading elsewhere. Arsenal express interest in winger, who Thierry Henry thinks is magnificent. Arsenal are continuing to scout the market for new players, before the window shuts and have their eyes on a new attacking player. According to football transfers, the Gunners are now keen on signing Napoli superstar Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. The report claims that Arsenal have expressed an interest in signing Kvara as they look to give themselves extra firepower in attacking areas. Despite their responding, talk has continued from various media outlets that Mikel Arteta would love another wide player to put pressure on or play with Bukayo Saka. Kvara, 22, shone for Napoli last season as both he and Victor Osimhen fired them to the Serie A title. Lauded by Henry on CBS Sport for a magnificent performance against Liverpool last term, Kvara is very much seen as one of the most exciting prospects in Europe. Napoli, of course, are keen to keep hold of their winger, just like Osimhen. Kvara is a player of a huge interest. Football Transfer report that it would take a huge offer for Arsenal to even get near Kvara. There is a few players in European football right now who would get into most teams, and Kvara is definitely one of them. His form in Naples last season was nothing other than superb. His pace, trickery, and ability to both create and score goals make him one of the biggest threats in Europe from wide areas. If Arsenal somehow pull this off, then it would send a huge message to the rest of the league. Arsenal have now started salary talks with world-class player. He wants the move. Arsenal have now opened talks with Brentford goalkeeper David Raya over a potential summer transfer. That's according to journalist Fabrizio Romano, who took to Twitter to provide more details on the 29-year-old's future. Arsenal's pursuit for David Raya appears to be moving very quickly. It's less than 24 hours since David Ornstein suggested the Gunners were interested in signing the Spanish goalkeeper. Raya's future at Brentford is in serious doubt after suggesting he wanted to move on this summer. Brentford acted quickly to replace the 29-year-old, signing Mark Flecken from Freiburg. However, after a move to Tottenham fell through over issues with his asking price, Bayern München are also keen on Raya, but have a similar issue with how much money Brentford are demanding for the Spanish international. Arsenal will want to negotiate that fee, but have now entered talks with Raya over a potential contract. It will be interesting to see if a deal can be agreed, with all parties looking to get a transfer completed. Providing an update on the goalkeeper's future, Romano said. Understand Arsenal have made contact with David Raya's camp to start talks on salary, as a player prefers Arsenal over Bayern as destination. Discussions are taking place, no issues with Raya, but key point will be between clubs, as Brentford always insisted on £40 million fee. Raya, who is capable of making world-class saves, very much fits the mold of an Arsenal goalkeeper. Mikel Arteta has developed a style of play that demands every player is comfortable on the ball. That includes the goalkeeper, who has to be capable of starting attacks and applying pinpoint passes. Ramsdale's distribution has improved during his time at the Emirates, but Raya has been confident in possession throughout his career. Raya will want assurances during talks with Arsenal about the role he is set to play next season if he joins. If he signs for Arsenal, it may be a sign that he backs himself to dislodge Ramsdale from the team. Arteta and Arsenal should benefit from the increased competition with the squad continuing to improve in every area. Romano shares Arteta's plans for Ramsdale as Arsenal now prepare £25.7 million bid for Raya. Fabrizio Romano has suggested that Mikel Arteta is not looking to replace Aaron Ramsdale as Arsenal set their sights on a move for David Raya this summer. Romano was speaking to Cout Offside following reports over the weekend suggesting that the Gunners are ready to make their move for the Brentford goalkeeper. Arsenal making a move for David Raya, understandably, led to plenty of questions concerning what the future holds for Aaron Ramsdale at the Emirates. Ramsdale has been the number one for the large majority of his time in North London. but reports from Calciomercato at the weekend claimed that Arsenal are ready to offer £25.7 million for Raya. It's hard to imagine Arsenal spending at least €30 million on a goalkeeper who is not going to play, so some must be wondering what could happen with Ramsdale. However, Romano has suggested that Arsenal have no plans to push Ramsdale out despite their interest in Raya. He said, Arsenal have always appreciated him, and Mikel Arteta is a big fan, but now it will be down to the clubs to reach an agreement. As for Aaron Ramsdale, my understanding is that the idea would be to create competition between Ramsdale and Raya. It's not a case of replacing the England keeper. Mikel Arteta has had a couple of goalkeeping dilemmas during his time as Arsenal boss. Initially, he had to decide between Martinez and Lino after the Argentinian took his opportunity with both hands, and later on, it was Ramsdale snatching Lino's spot. On both occasions, Arteta was unable to keep both goalkeepers happy enough for longer than a year, so you would think that something will eventually have to give if Ramsdale and Raya become teammates. Both will be hoping to also be first choice for their respective national sides. Certainly, Ramsdale may have plenty of questions after seeing the reports. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.